Welcome to the Q&A video and recap for our Age of Sigmar game that we just played. This was the Hedonites of Slaanesh. This was the new battle tome, and we were really excited to have them against the Sigmarines here. And I really think that this was a crazy game, but if you don't want spoilers, you better go watch that game first, because we're going to talk about everything that happened here and really go through it.
Cool. Are you gone?
Yeah, I think they're gone.
All right, cool. What a wild game.
It was. You know, it's a new battle tome. We didn't know what to expect. I think when you first read through it, you were a little disheartened that you thought it wasn't a very good book, and also you thought that it was kind of a nerf from where they were before, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And when the original book came out, it was very oppressive. A lot of fight last, tons of summoning on top of really tough characters that were inherently, you build them to be tough to kill. So the first codex, the first battle tome had a bunch of issues. Now they addressed a lot of them, and I was concerned by the way they addressed them. I think. Obviously, not like the toughest matchup against Stomcast, but we still saw.
Stormcast not the strongest army.
Yeah.
But you know, you didn't have any easy gimmies. Like you had to fight for every combat. You know, I was all over the place. I got a good turn on you for first turn.
When you killed my general first turn, I was like, okay, this is gonna be this is gonna be a whole thing, because again, like I said, one of the big changes was like the depravity point system, the fact that before with Godseekers, as long as I'm charging, I'm getting D3 to 3 command points every turn, right?
Yeah.
And that was all gone. So the moment that the general died, I was like, okay, this is going to be a real test to see can you still generate those points. And turns out against certain lists, you can. And you can also build your own list. That was one of the big things that we picked up right away, was like, oh yeah, okay, you are generating depravity points, not just off of wounding multiple of your opponent's units, but also your own.
Yeah, you got this game went to roughly 4 turns.
Yeah.
Roughly 4 turns. You generated over 30 points.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which, that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's all you need, honestly.
All you need. That's good, right? Like, because a keeper and 30 points gives you a keeper and roughly 40 of them. Is that right? You'd get. How many points is that you'd get?
Oh gosh,
it's a lot, right?
That's
like 500-600
so
points.
It's 110 points for 10 demonettes, so it's more like 800-900 points.
So you played with almost a 3,000 point army.
Big deal. Big deal. Yeah.
I'd say that's pretty good, especially on top of that. The units are genuinely good.
Yeah, they're great units. Yeah.
It's really good.
They are awesome. And yeah, like I said, I think the big thing was like realizing that you can still build your list in a way that generates these depravity points. It's not solely based off of.
And you didn't even tech into the depravity points.
No, this was a bad list for that.
If you had teched into archers and things like that, where you could spread out the shots, plink a wound here and there, you can really farm them a lot faster.
100%. So very informative game. I want to talk about another new unit, but he also happens to be my MVP for this game, which is Sigvald, the Magnificent.
Sigvald, not only a rad model, but he actually was a beast. And at no time did I feel like I could have ever even come close to hurting him.
Correct. Yeah.
Because he's so tough, and that it's really difficult to try and divert my fire for a couple turns to kill him. Yeah. How many wounds does he have?
He's got 9 wounds. He's got 4 up armor, 4 up feel no pain against everything, and that's just tough enough, right?
So he's roughly as hard as killing 2 of these.
Yes.
Maybe even
so they have more wounds.
But it doesn't matter, right? He has a 1 better save and the 4 up.
They have a 4 up as well.
Oh, do they have?
But he has the amazing 4 up Feel No Pain, and it's just tough enough that, as you saw even in this list, you can get so many sources of healing that unless you're killing him, you're just going to heal him back up to full, right?
And you can heal him just as much.
Yeah, this was just onto a
I thought one of the healing was only demons only. But
that might be, but there might be a mortal one as well. So
Sigvald was an absolute beast.
He was really, really great, and the utility between that and the fight twice was really, really powerful. So I would say he was awesome.
I'm really into him.
Yeah. Do you have an MVP on your side?
MVP for me. I'm gonna go with.
Don't do it.
I have several.
Okay.
I have several, but and it's not that they were MVPs. Nothing was actually good in the game.
Yeah.
But the things I actually had fun with were probably my Knight Venator. He's the one with the 1 star-faded arrow. And that first turn, star-faded arrow did like 8 or 9 wounds to your keeper.
Yeah,
and
my general.
To your general, right. And that's what that arrow is supposed to do.
Exactly.
And it did it, and that's epic.
As sad as I was at the time, it's a cool thing to see, because like
it never happens.
It never happens. Well, when it does, it pops off.
It's great.
So, and that was actually really important, right? Because that was kind of the threshold between killing it or not killing it turn 1.
Yeah. All my characters were nothing, right?
Yeah.
They're all pretty pricey, and they have like generally decent abilities.
Yeah.
But they're all generally nothing. I think the Knight Venator, his shooting profile needs to be at least 2 times as good for the same points.
Yeah.
Maybe even 3 times as good.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I feel like they put the points value is based off of this once per game ability, and it's like I'd rather have him just be pretty dang good for the whole game rather than like have this potential to pop off once per game.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. Well, so if you haven't seen the game already, this was essentially a tabling. The Stomcast did get tabled, but it wasn't until late in the game.
No, that's true.
And through the game, it was a back and forth.
Yep.
You know, the Stomcast were holding the line and generally being a little tough, but just not dishing it out.
That was actually their weakness. That was
They just didn't really have any punch. And I think that's not going to be surprising to anyone who looks at the data sheets I brought.
Yep.
The units that I had were just the cheapest bodies. And I was curious about how that would play. And it actually, I think, frankly, it kept me in the game.
Yes. 100%.
I think if I had more elite units, because you're fighting first in almost all these scenarios, I would have just lost them and then had known on the point. It's only because I had so many models that I was building screens, putting bodies on the points.
Preventing the summoning.
That, even when you were killing, I still had more than you in a few key places.
Yeah.
That allowed me to keep the points up. But it was kind of artificial because I was never going to be able to whittle you down.
Right.
And you were getting that extra 1,000 points.
Yeah.
So it was like, you know, it was definitely going to snowball eventually, and it was going to end in a tabling, which is essentially what it did.
That's very true. I'd be curious about a combination where you maybe have these bodies, but not so maxed out, like the, the flying guys, the prosecutors.
Yeah.
If you drop those for something actually real and kept the other...
The prosecutors are not good. The hitting on 4 is winning on 4 is 1 damage.
Yeah.
It's really, really bad.
Right.
But I love the prosecutors. I just want them to be
good.
Cool.
They're so cool.
What about the ballista thing, Brian? You should take some ballistas.
I don't own any.
They're good.
What if I had
I actually do own 2 unassembled. I own 2 unassembled. But, you know, I'd get to it eventually.
Maybe like a year from now.
Maybe.
Yeah. But, you know, like you said, to be fair to the Stomcast, we kind of wanted to try something different. We weren't sure about the power level of this battle tome. So, and we were a little scared of the Seraphon. So.
Yeah, but I'm genuinely impressed. It was a very strong army. Everything, your 10-man or 10-woman squad over here of Demonettes.
That was silly.
This is actually the true MVP.
They wrecked.
That was so good.
You also twice in that unit got to fail morale on a 1 or pass on a 1 and get the bodies back. Bring back. You brought something like 7 back to the unit.
Yep.
So the squad still has 5.
5, yeah.
And so and it's had an additional 7 on top of it.
Right.
So it's really good.
That was so crazy because it was the unit that I killed. You brought them back, huge swing, and they charged in. And these ladies just tanked it for the whole game.
So I was also playing the Hammers of Sigmar, which has that strat, or command ability, where when a 5-up a unit of Liberators who dies comes back, and I did it once, and it worked, just like we all knew it would, and I got to bring the unit back, and that was key because I would have had far fewer assets, but it turned out to have no impact on the game whatsoever because they charged in and they did nothing.
It should have been a big swing.
They got stomped. They were embarrassed.
I'm shocked by that thing.
They were embarrassed. It just didn't work out.
It should have brought you back in the game, and it just failed to do everything.
Yeah, because honestly, if I was over there, I would have been pretty hot. Like I would have had a 2-point swing that turn.
Yep.
You would have been down. You didn't actually have anything to throw over there.
No. I was like, gosh, I'm gonna have to bring my keeper over as fast as I can, which also makes Sigvald worse because I can't double fight him.
That's right.
And I was like, I was sweating, or I was gonna have to use all my summoning early and try.
It would have made it a much tighter game.
Yeah.
I still would have been tabled in the end, but it might have been like at the end of the game, we have a very close point score. Right. I really needed those, Liberators to do it. They just did nothing. They got punked, and then they did nothing in return. They did like 1 wound, or they killed like 2, and then you brought the 2 back. And I was like, oh my god, it was so demoralizing.
That was so wild.
But awesome to see.
Yeah.
Well, you want to do some Q's and A's?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's Q&A time.
Q&As.
Thanks. Skullcrusher, I recently got an Ender 3 printer, and while I'm in the process of printing a Warlord Titan, I was wondering if you do any printing for 40K, and where do you get your files?
Have you done any printing for 40K?
I have indeed. That is a very well-timed question. We actually just released our first kind of hobby video, actually, which was one where I actually go through 3D printing parts for Noise Marine.
Are you discounting Hobby Hangouts?
Well, that was a live video. And never forget.
The dark times of Hobby Hangouts?
The dark times of...
Well, it's our first pre-recorded hobby video.
It's our first pre-recorded, yeah.
And it's all about 3D printing.
Exactly, exactly. So it's actually me going through the process of actually learning how to do this.
You're new to it. This was like your first time with your own printer.
This is my first foray into it, yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
It's so cool. I was really impressed. I had kind of kept an eye on it for years, and I was like, especially because I had kind of learned it in like kind of like grad school, and people like didn't play 40K. They're like, yeah, 3D printers, and I was always like, well, but it's not good enough resolution for like models, so I don't really care.
Right. I've done 3D printing, I've done 3D printing like professionally. I worked for a toy company and designed toys, and we did a lot of 3D print prototypes. I never actually did it for 40K myself, except I've bought like hundreds of things off Shapeways. So it's just I don't have the patience to like set it up, clean it, wait for it to print. It's like, oh, I got it wrong, and I got to do new supports. I don't have that. I'm just like the pay, ship now kind of whatever. So Shapeways has really been key for me because I get access to all those wicked bits, and I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly.
So I really do like it. Maybe I'll just ask you to print next time.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of where it's at. I'm the obsessive printer or obsessive hobbyist, where I just like get into something.
Because it is its own hobby unto itself.
It's a huge thing. So check that out. As far as sources of models, I used My Mini Factory a lot.
Yeah.
They just have like the largest source of them. Also, Raging Heroes. They're known for the toughest girls in the galaxy. They actually have a full printing, like print-only side of things called Infinite Heroes.
That's cool.
And I'm part of their Patreon, where every month they release like a bunch of models. So I've been pulling stuff from there.
And in the video you did, you actually sculpted your own.
I did. That's right.
Which is a fun thing you can do. And even if you're not haven't used 3D, 3D programs are daunting. But it's fun to play around with.
It's
design something yourself, and then you can show. It's like maybe it's not perfect, but it's like, listen, I custom designed and printed this model.
Kind of magical.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, and I use Blender for that, which is totally free. So check it out.
And it's just a really cool program.
It's a great program.
The new Blender is so good.
It's amazing.
All right, thanks, Colonel Panic. Recently started Sister of Battle Army, Sacred Rose.
Nice.
Only ever painted Necrons before. Help. How do I paint human eyes?
Human eyes?
Oh, no. That's a lot of human eyes, too.
With washes.
They have a lot of helmets.
Yeah, most of mine have helmets.
Keep the helmets on. They have nice looking helmets too.
I love the helmets.
But the hair and the faces are iconic too.
Exactly. So I don't paint most of my eyes, to be honest. Like most of my armies. I don't know if you have suggestions, but I would say washes first of all.
Yes.
And largely, you're not painting like the whole eye, right? You're trying for like just one dot. You're not going to do anything fancier than that. And
oh, okay. I'll tell you my tips.
What's your tip?
I do a lot of them actually when I can. So I like it. So first of all, let's say skin color. Whatever, take your skin color, do the skin, and then I keep my palette there, and I just put a teeny bit of like a white or a gray into my skin, and that's my eye. I never use a white for your eye. Right. So don't like get white paint and like paint the eye.
No.
Put like a little bit of white into your skin color, and then just put a teeny little thing. I usually pull outward like this way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you make the paint like a little, you have to make it wet enough that it will actually go and not glob.
Exactly.
So it's the right brush, the right amount of paint, you'll get used to it. Then, you can wash the face before or after you do that. You'll get different effects depending on the skin color. So now you have the whites. Okay, you're in a good spot.
Yeah.
Now the dot, okay? The dot is where it goes from like, you could do it amazing, or it could be googly-eyed, right? And we've all seen the pictures. You're not poking it.
Yeah.
You're pulling down like almost cat eye in a way. And be prepared to like mess up the eye and then do it over again.
Yep.
And that's it. Like the paint has to be pretty thin, but it can't be like a wash or it's going to fill the eye. And generally what I do is I just kind of live with whatever happens. Like if it's not Google eyes, then I'll live with it. Like it's like
totally wall.
Yeah, don't do the offset, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Like that's it. You'll get used to it. It's not that bad.
The pulling thing is also a really important thing in general painting, which a lot of people don't understand. Is you always want to be pulling towards yourself.
Yeah, that's
so you're gonna be holding a model, pulling it towards yourself. No poking. You never poke in painting.
For sure.
Unless you don't poke it out, Marines.
Yeah.
But,
still don't. Still, that's still almost like a swish in a way. You know what I mean?
I'm waiting for the meme of you applying
the eye makeup. That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's the same principle.
Just like that.
Yeah,
you gotta pull. Yeah, you gotta pull out. It's like you go from the thick part to the thin part. It's easiest.
Yeah, a lot of that was clippable. So clippable. I look forward to seeing what comes of it.
It's tough. It's tough. It's one of the hardest parts.
It is.
Thanks, Rico. Thinking about starting Dark Mechanicum Army.
So cool. So are we.
For the aesthetics and hobby reasons. Any tips on kit bashing, and will we see a dedicated codex in the future?
No.
We don't think so.
I don't think so.
But
I'd like rad though, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it'd be amazing.
So we are making a Dark Mechanicus as well. We haven't really started.
No.
But we kicked around a lot of ideas.
We did kick around a lot of ideas. Necron bits are amazing. You have to be careful because you don't want to be like, well, that's a Necron bit, right?
Yeah, sure.
But like the Wraith tails are so good for that kind of stuff. A lot of the little claws.
The Ophidian Destroyers have those kind of in spades now too.
Absolutely. And you can take those bits and like change a couple of key things, like the really Necron-y kind of icons you fill in or cover up or whatever.
It's prime for 3D printing.
It really is.
Because you can do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other like kits you can go to, right?
Like the AdMech kits themselves can become pretty dark.
They're pretty spooky already,
right?
Yeah.
30K Mechanicum.
30K Mechanicum has some stuff too. Yeah.
Also, orc bits. So honestly, one of my favorite orc kits to use is Orc Truck. Go get that. On my Lord of the Scorn with the call body, a bunch of the pipes are actually orc exhausts that takes like that nice looking armor and makes it much more gritty and things like that.
It's going to be the paint scheme a lot too.
Yeah, 100%. You could take a completely normal looking Mechanicus army and paint it real spooky. And it's going to be dark Mechanicus, you know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
And we're, one of the things we were thinking about is, we try to make it almost a more combat-centric army.
Yeah, totally.
So we'd have like crazy priests that we would do, and we would take Cataphon Breachers as our main Cataphons, and you could do some crazy Chaos Breachers, right? So we definitely have some fun stuff that we're thinking.
The combat stuff for
sure. Some of the new things like the Sky Stalkers, you can have like instead of their wings, you can have like bat wings and things like that.
Exactly.
There's all kinds, and the Sulfur Hounds, you could chaos them out so fast.
Yeah.
So some of the new units in particular, I think, lend themselves to being coming chaos.
I also love to see. I've seen a couple, but there's so many ways you could do it. Is the Dragoons. Whereas right now, you're a Dragoon riding on a thing, but what if you were like part of it, or it's like a twisted mech with like a spear, like so
it was like a beast, like a metal beast.
Like
you could do some fun stuff with it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bambi. Hey guys, for Boys in Blue, how do you feel about Tyrannic War Vets and Sergeant Kronos in a Sikaran Punisher BS2 that doesn't degrade?
Ooh. So does he still work on a Sikaran Punisher? I thought he got severely limited.
Does not.
So sorry, this is who are we talking about? Kronos?
The guy who
I thought he had to
vehicles.
go in a Codex tank.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they really toned down what you can put them in.
Because people used to put him inside the Whirlwind.
The Relic Whirlwind.
The Relic Whirlwind.
Yeah.
And
those people were jerks.
And I think they limited him to just like Land Raiders, Predators, and actual Whirlwinds.
Right.
I think that's pretty much it.
Because he's limited to keyword things now, and the Forge World stuff does not get the correct keywords.
Yeah.
Or it might be like actual just the name, right? Which would do the same function.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have him, but I've actually never put him on the table just because I only have Primaris tanks.
But the truth is, like, because tanks no longer get rerolls, that +1 to hit is genuinely interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it on a Whirlwind. I would put it on a Land Raider if you want to run one of those. Predator. They're good together, and so making one better BS is not interesting.
Rhino, Whirlwind, Razorback, Hunter, Predator, Stalker, Vindicator, or Land Raider.
And it is keyword.
It's keyword.
So maybe it does work.
No, because the Forge World stuff does not have the keywords.
Yeah, that's right. So I would put him in. I'd put him in a Vindicator. That's rad, right?
That's so cheeky. I think it's cool.
Him in a Vindicator would be fun.
Yeah, and then there was a first part though before
Tyrannic War Veterans. That's one of those units where it's like it's like a color hate card in Magic. Like it only ever does anything against the person that you just want to feel bad, and all it does is make them feel bad.
They reroll all hits and wounds against Tyranids.
And it's like
so mean.
They're just paying more for.
They
normal
do have
units,
the special shield bolt gun, which nobody else has anymore. So it's a rapid fire 1, strength 4, AP 2, 30-inch range, and I don't know how many points they are. If this book's up to date.
Because they're the old Sternguard vet, and they just didn't change the Sternguard vet.
So what's weird is, did they get the extra wound?
Probably not.
Because they have one wound in this book.
Because their gun didn't change. So they're like all kinds of bad.
Well, in the FAQ, they fixed like Gilliman and stuff like that. But I don't remember seeing that.
I don't know.
They must have. They must.
Let us know. Did the Tyrannic War Veterans get their wound?
If they're reasonably costed, getting that cool bolter profile is interesting.
It actually could be cool, especially because this Ultramarines rapid fire at long range while on the move. So you got 30 inches on the move, spitting out AP2. It's kind of cool if they're cheap enough.
They're 17 points.
So they're one wound.
They're probably one wound, yeah.
Because there's 16 points in this book with 2 wounds, or with only 1 wound. I'm sorry. So
that one.
There's no way they would. There's no way they would have a 17.2 wound Sternguard vet.
If they did, then they're broken. But if they're 1 wound, I don't think they're worth taking.
That makes me so sad if they're 1 wound.
But tactical doctrine AP3 on those bolters. It's kind of cute. But they need the extra wound, and it's clearly basically an oversight.
That's
Well, because they are the old Sterngard datasheet. They just didn't get.
I guess if they got the wound, they would probably lose the gun too.
No. They kept their gun all the way back from the time when it still had AP.
Right.
That's right.
I don't know where they're getting the new ammo, but
yeah.
All right. Thanks, Casey. Evening Titans. How does the Death Watch reroll to wound versus a category work against units that don't take up a slot? For example, Cryptex. That's not how that works. So not taking up a slot is different from not having a force
like
org
a type.
slot.
Yes.
Like you have it. Your datasheet has a symbol at the top.
Yeah.
That's your force org slot.
Yep.
You don't lose that. You always have that.
Absolutely.
Correct. So they get the reroll.
Yep.
Yeah.
Colts saying they have 2 wins and they're only 17 points. I think is an oversight. And I don't like it.
That sounds like we need to get some Tyrannic War veterans.
Listen. If there's 17 points for 2 wounds, they're really good. They're way, way, way too good.
Yep.
Sorry. Especially because you could like rhino them, drop pod them.
Yep.
Whatever them. Reroll all your hits with them. It would be too good.
All right. Thanks, that guy, Brad. I'm so happy we're doing some AOS. Please bust out the Iron Jaws soon. Keep up the good work, Titans.
Get your Iron Jaws.
I will for sure. That's an easy army to update, right?
Yeah.
Not that many models. Yeah, 100%. We have a bunch more armies. I in particular have a bunch more. I just need to, one, renovate them a little bit, but we also need to make sure they have good matchups, right? It's a very particular balance in Sigmar.
Could they fight? I don't know their rules very well. Could they do my Zinj?
I don't feel like it's the classic like power armor versus mortal wounds.
Oh, okay. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
That's their main thing. Is they're just super good saves?
They're chunky, fighty orcs.
They have like 3-up saves or something.
They have like decent. Well, no, they're like 4-up. Well, some 3-ups, but yeah, they're like
Yeah. Okay.
Chunky, fighty orcs basically. Yep. But yeah, we will get them on. We'll find a way to make it all work. We will.
Cool. Yeah. I would love to see them. I love that faction so much.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Hello, Titans. John Lennon won a tournament against other pros and won with Nids. 2 Demicarons. Thoughts on the unit? Does it need to be run in pairs?
He's taking 2 because they're very good. And that's why he's taking 2. Yeah. And no, you don't have to run them in pairs. They don't necessarily synergize off each other. It's just 2 of a good thing is more of a good thing in many cases.
Yeah, and you're more likely to be able to do the thing that you want to do, which is that's very much his style too. It's all about redundancies. His White Scars list is 2 Inceptors, 2 units of Vanguard vets.
Yeah,
it's like that's like also his style of building list. So
and
if you have 1, it's still great.
Yeah, the Demicaron is very strong. The stratagems and the ability to upgrade your monsters can really make it quite a beat stick.
Yeah, and
it can be so fast.
Yeah,
right. It could double move, advance both times and like charge or something.
Right.
Very, very fast. Cool. Crazy powerful. It's got mortal wounds, which get around a lot of the ignoring damage and things these days. It's quite a good model. I hate the model, but its rules are so good.
It's a good unit.
It's a good unit.
Terrible model.
Not a terrible. Yeah.
I don't mind it so much.
I don't love it.
It looks very goofy. I've actually seen it now, and it looks very goofy.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Our friend just painted one up.
Yeah. He's on that hype train.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. I think we've said it before, but Nids built well. It's an underrated army.
Yeah, their psychic powers are so good. Their stratagems are so good.
Would you like fight last at range before it was cool?
Yeah. Well, it didn't work that way in 8th, but now it works that way in 9th. So it's very, very good. And also, it's just most of their data sheets are really bad.
Yeah.
And if they kept the strats and they kept those psychic powers and they got good data sheets, it would be a force. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Cultist John. Hey, Titans. Was just introducing some guard to the Demonette dating service.
Oh, no.
I'm wondering how you'd
Call your commissar.
Wondering how you'd make word bearers and WG? What is W?
World
Graders.
The world graders, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
How would you make them on par with Terminators and...
Oh, okay, hold on. This is a unit that needs to be on par. That's WGs.
Wait, what?
WG/WB on par with Termies and WL with Redemptors.
Oh, gosh.
That's a lot of W's.
All right, hold on. Say again slowly.
All right. This is a puzzle.
How would you make WG/WB on par with Termies and WL with Redemptors?
So the WL
crossing factions.
No, hold on. No, the WL is some sort of vehicle. It's like yes, because he's trying to compare it to Redemptors. He wants his WL to be as good as a Redemptor.
No, Termies and...
No, I'm right.
I'm not going to look at chat. No, chat. Oh, it's ruined. I know it now. I can't say anything.
Hold on.
Like, you dinguses.
I looked at chat.
Hold on, let me.
No.
Let me try. I'm not in chat right now.
Obviously, it's Wraith Lords.
I saw it.
WTs? Is there WTs?
No. WG and
B and WL.
World Bears.
No. This is units. These are units.
You said that.
I said word bears.
World Bears. It's like.
Okay, I'm out of ideas.
All right, go for it.
All right, you got to tell me.
All right, they're all Wraith units. It's Wraith Lord, Wraith Blade.
Wait, I thought we were
Guard.
talking about.
He was him. That was him.
I poisoned the well.
You did poison the
I
well.
read
because
word
I
bears.
did have that. I was like, Wraith
I thought we were
Lords.
talking about chaos only.
I read word bears because
Yeah.
that's what WB is to me.
Wraith Blades, Wraith Guard.
I would have got that if
I
you didn't tell me.
poisoned
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I was
Okay,
like,
okay.
Well, it would be Wraith Lord, but that doesn't.
Yeah,
that's what
you
we're
can't do that
talking
with
about.
chaos.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
Make them on.
So how do you make Wraith Blades as good as Terminators?
Yeah, and Wraith Lords as good as Redemptors.
All right. So the Wraith Blades are supposed to be higher toughness,
Which they are.
which is good.
Yep.
But they don't have as good of a save, right? They only have the 3-up save.
They have a 3-up and they have a 4-up invuln if you take the shield and board.
I think that's cool. I think they should have their invuln. They should have their save not be quite as good.
Yeah.
But I think they could also, because of like the Wraithbone, I could see that Wraithbone kind of having a feel no pain or an ignoring damage even.
Oh.
I think that could be good. That's a mechanic that works.
But
the Wraith Blades just need to fight so much better.
So much more.
Yeah.
Right?
I think both of them, but the Wraith Blades even more so. Or sorry, yeah.
The Wraith Blades need at least 3 attacks, probably 4. And then they need to have...
They need to hit on 3s.
They
actually hit
remember?
on 3s.
They 100% need to hit on 3s.
Yeah.
And have access to rerolls. And then their axes, I would say, what do you think? ×2 strength? Like getting them up to like a strength 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a strength 8 is good. I think an AP 2, but like a damage of 2 or 3 could work too.
Yeah, I think that's cool. And yeah,
I think we're talking. I think that's interesting.
This is basically what Terminators have, right?
Yeah, we're talking. We're close, but there's slight differences.
Yeah, and the Wraith Guard they could function very similarly to a unit of Eradicators, right?
Yeah.
What?
That's just never gonna happen.
No, but it could. They're supposed to have mega weapons.
They're tough,
you know what I mean?
super killy in theory.
Yeah, you're right.
There was a time where they were really scary. So
and I think that
again.
you're talking about the Wraith Lords is the last one. I think Wraith Lords are cool, but they need a few more attacks.
The Wraith Lords are not far away.
Yeah.
-1 damage.
Yes.
More attacks.
More attacks.
Just a little bit.
Even just one more. Yeah.
Every time we say -1 damage, a part of me dies.
But it's already out there. You know what I mean?
That's like basically the Dreadnought equivalent.
I think if we said that all Wraith has -1 damage, I think that's really cool.
Yeah, which is why I was about to bring up the other painful point, which is the Forge World the Forge World Index giving the Wraith Seers ignore -1 rend or something. Hopefully that doesn't
Which is
stick.
totally not comparable in any way to -1
like
damage.
it's -1 to something.
And people are bringing big weapons to kill these things, and they're not things that have.
Yeah, it's like that Plink Fire against your already toughness 8 Wraith Lords. Like what?
Yeah,
what?
I really want it like in Sigmar when you ignore a rend, doesn't it subtract from the rend or
no?
No, you just straight ignore a rend.
There's a limit on a lot of them. So like the Saurus is like ignore -1 or ignore -2.
That's right. And then but if you go over it,
so it's actually the same as what they do now.
You're right. But yeah, those are all good things that they could do.
The subtracting was a fantasy thing.
That's what it was, and that's what I want. I want the subtracting like fantasy.
Yeah, there's still a lot of these things have gone to like gradations.
Wouldn't that just be a better save? Oh, I guess it's not better if they don't have rend.
That's right.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it was
okay.
cool.
This is getting complicated.
I mean, yeah, but
whatever.
It's more design space. I like it. But...
Let's make that how all his dust works or something.
Yeah, exactly. Great question.
All right, thanks, Nerdatronic. Got my kids some Zarbags. What is a Zarbag?
I don't know.
I like it.
Some Zarbags Gitz for her birthday. She'll have building them. What would you suggest for a starter Gitz army? I have a ton in my COS. Is that closet?
All
That's a weird way to say closet.
So Zarbags Gitz is the Underworld's warband for Gloomspite Gitz.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so cool, good. And actually that unit is genuinely interesting in Gitz. I just haven't got it. They have like, there's one ability I think in particular which is really interesting. Some spell that the shaman has. So good starting position. Well, I think the first thing you want to decide is, do you want to do squigs?
That's
do you want to do spiders? Do you want to do Night Goblin heavy? Or do you want to do a mix? Or a troll? There's a lot of ways to go, right?
Yeah.
And so, because you can really customize that army.
It's really many armies in one book.
It is. It's like 4 armies.
And it's not awesome always to spread it out. Like, you kind of want to tech into something, right?
Yeah, exactly. So...
Which one? Squigs is your favorite?
I like the squigs. You will need like a loon boss or a mangler boss or the main guy, to basically unlock squigs as your troops. Then you can go off squigs. And that's why I mentioned this, right? Because you can make any of them battle lines.
My favorite is the spiders and really the night goblins, like spiders and night goblins. I always love night goblins. I just, as you don't know, I like models with hoods. As I've said, they're just so mysterious and magical.
That's right.
So
you just don't know. You don't know.
Yeah. I always take my Skitarii Rangers.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, just start with
just pick which direction you want to go and find a cool thing.
Get a box of squigs, like the regular squig. Get a box of the bounders, and
well, that's assuming you want squigs.
If you want
get a box of the spiders.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah.
The spiders are old models, aren't they? Or did they do the new ones?
I have like 30 of them, but
I have a bunch too.
Because they're all from that box set.
They're all from that starter set. Yeah.
It's funny.
Cool. Thanks, Patrick. Thank you for the AOS. I love getting to watch the game. I love playing.
You love playing.
I love
getting to watch the game. I love played by the best bat rep people around.
Oh, thank you so much. You know, we really enjoyed this game.
I now parsed that sentence.
This is you, problem.
We got it. We were already with it. We're glad you like it. We have a lot of fun playing this game.
So much fun.
Because it is such a fun game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? What a great, like, if you're into this miniatures hobby, this game is just pure joy, right? The models are so fun. The rules are so crazy. The games are always just hectic and, you know,
totally
the heroes
wild.
Get to be really heroic sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's a wild, fun game.
It's so great. And it is actually deeply tactical, so it's a lot of fun. I think people don't give it as much credit.
It's a very tactical game. Yeah. I would say one thing that they've done, the mechanics that they've built really lend themselves to min-maxing, which means when you're trying to do it very competitively, you're crammed into the smallest end of their design space.
Yep.
So in my opinion, it doesn't work as well as a competitive game because you don't have as much variety.
Yeah.
But as just a casual game, oh man, it's as good as it gets.
It's so much fun. And doing the model shots for this was so easy. I just like put them on, and they're also like big and cinematic.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, beautiful, done. Like I don't have to do any futzing to like figure out the good angle. I'm like, oh, it's
great.
Beautiful.
And they've been changing it. Like earlier in AUS, you used to have like 90 of the same model to play. There have been raising point costs a lot. And so a lot of armies actually don't, you still want to spam. Like there's still this one unit you want to spam.
Yeah.
But it feels more approachable now than it used to.
It is so much more. And I know you were complaining about your characters being overcosted. Mine were also, I mean, they're amazing, but they're expensive. It's almost 400 points. Yeah. This one guy was 150. So
that's what all my characters were as well.
Like,
yeah, they're all about 150.
Everything's more expensive, which I'm actually okay with. Like you said, I don't really want to play hordes. Otherwise, I'd be finding a way to play, rank and file or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alrighty, thanks, Michael. How does Bridger keep the word bearers from killing the nice old couple that came out to see the movie too, or just burning everything all the time?
How do you, Bridger?
Well, I got nails installed in their heads, and whenever they do bad things...
You put the butcher's nails in their heads?
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work the way you want.
But it works differently. See, the butcher's nails,
these are the
make you angry.
Nails? The Bridger's nails.
These are like dog training. Like when you do bad things, I like spritz you with a water bottle.
So what happened is, he actually just bought them in a corner, and he read the sign wrong, and they're just actual nails. And so he just, so he's essentially just like lobotomized them all.
No.
But he didn't know any different.
Yeah, Bridger, that's horrible.
Yeah, I like.
That got really dark, really.
Yeah,
fast.
I don't know. Just found this box of nails, and he's like, "Oh, perfect." So I think the way that the couple didn't die. Because they are actually the most chaos people in the whole room.
Yeah, that's true.
And the other ones just didn't want anywhere near them.
It's like in Men in Black, where it's like the old couple that's actually like this like really weird alien in their like skin suit.
That's exactly what's happening here.
All right, thanks, Colin. Was Space Marine faction best supports Phobos units and Invictus? Brand new to the hobby, want to make sure I get my first army right. You guys are awesome.
Totally.
Phobos and Invictus.
So thematically, it's obviously Raven Guard.
Yep.
Sure, they're sneaky boys.
Play-wise, it's not bad.
I think play-wise, White Scars will do it better.
I think White Scars will do it so well. Yeah. I also think that Blood Angels will do it so well.
Also true. Also true.
Yeah, because it's great for the
because you can just put the pressure on
that
so early.
That is such a thematic fail because they do not have jump packs. So we're going to give it to the White Scars here.
The White Scars could be cool.
I like them both. I'm a little sad that the Eliminators and Snipers, like the sergeants, won't have the amazing Raven Guard stuff.
Yeah.
But I was thinking the same thing as you guys.
Yeah.
So.
You could Emperor's Spears too. They do the Phobos too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Because they're Ultramarines with melee focus.
Yeah, they go hard on the Phobos.
You get like all the benefits of Blood Angels without the thematic clash of not having jump packs.
True. And the Emperor's Spears, if you do them in the proper scheme, it's one of the most beautiful color schemes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. What do you think about Slaanesh Furies?
In 40K?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, let's assume AOS.
You know, I was looking. I use the Azir app, and it wasn't letting me pick them. And I haven't checked.
Are they in this book?
No, but they've never been.
Oh, okay.
This is Sigmar, where the points are made up and the rules don't matter.
Yeah.
Because basically, in order to be a Hedonite army, you just have to have Slaanesh keyword.
Okay.
So it was always like, go to the status sheet, give it the Slaanesh thing. Like, there's a bunch of stuff from. Actually, let's check the Hedonites, the army building section, to see if maybe they narrowed the focus, right? Because it used to be you could go to like the Everchosen and stuff.
You tell me.
It'll be. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I don't know.
In 40K, they are my
useful.
second favorite.
Yeah.
Because you can advance and charge with them, but I'd rather take the Nurgle ones to make them just tougher.
Yeah, because you're just usually using them as throwaway bodies.
That's the trade-off there.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see. So this is where we're seeing what actually constitutes a Hedonites army, right? Legion's abilities, rules for that.
This is good TV.
So we're not even sure. We're not sure if you can actually even include them at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, if the app said that you couldn't, that's a pretty strong indicator.
Yeah, the app is wrong a lot.
It's hit or miss.
And it's a new book.
It's also let me do stuff when I can't, and not let me, But they would be interesting. I almost put them in. I just wasn't sure if I could legally. So I think they're generally interesting in this army. Just as something that's cheap, you throw it out there, you score. Fast. On this mission, it would have been bad because that's a cheap unit that just dies and gives you an extra point.
That's right.
On other missions, generally interesting.
Could have been good.
And also screening, right? Stops your hammers from coming in.
Agreed.
That's cool.
Literally. Yep. All right, thanks. Thanks again, Lady Jane. Loving the game. I have the old Dark Imperium box, relearning how to play, and first time for my girlfriend. What factions do you recommend for fun games?
Fun games. It doesn't matter as long as the factions are well balanced. You'll have fun games as long as the games are kind of even and there's a back and forth all the way. I think it's always going to be fun.
Absolutely true. It obviously helps if you both have new books or both have old books.
With old books, there's more of a gradation. All the new books can play with each other.
Yeah.
To like pretty good extent. The old books though have a big divide.
Yes, true. But if you're doing the Dark Imperium, that's going to be Space Marines versus Death Guard.
Death Guard. That's awesome, and that's actually a really cool and balanced game.
Yeah.
One of the nice things.
We love those matchups actually.
Yeah, we actually do because one of the things is those armies are both somewhat plodding and slow.
Yeah.
And so the first turns, nobody's at risk of losing all their stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's like first turn, you get into position, do your thing. You know, if you have a deep strike, you get to do it. You know, it's like the game's not over. Yeah. Some armies are so fast, they put the pressure on right away. And like even like Sisters and Harlequins, like they're gonna hurt you from so far downfield, or they're gonna be up in your face turn one. It can just kind of snowball too quickly. So that's a really good game. I think I like that game.
Absolutely.
Thanks, AJV. Some Cadian tire dollars for you guys. Brian, what does that mean something?
Canadian Tire?
I thought you said Cadian.
No,
it says Cadian Tire dollars.
So Canadian Tire is a big chain store in Canada that everyone always goes to. It's like, I don't know how to compare it to anything because it's like, it started off as like a pseudo Canadian style home improvement place plus car stuff.
Okay.
So you could think of it as like a Home Depot with like leaning more into like the homeware stuff.
But also cars.
But also like in mechanic shop and things like that. Okay, cool. And then it kind of grew to be like a Target, like it just has everything.
This place shouldn't exist.
Okay,
that's what I've decided.
It's like a Canadian megastore that just has everything. I don't know. So I like grew up going there all the time. And whenever you buy something, they give you back their own Monopoly money as like rewards points.
Yeah.
They give you your own change, but then they give you extra. They give you back their own Monopoly money, and it's like very brightly colored Monopoly money.
Yeah. And
you just hoard it. You're getting like 5 cents, 1 cent, whatever. Yeah. But then over time, you go and buy like a riding lawnmower with it or something.
Right. Specifically that.
This is a very Canadian thing to buy with your Canadian Tire money, is a riding lawnmower or a snowblower.
All right.
You buy a snowblower.
It has been confirmed that this place should not exist.
Oh my God.
And as kids, you would always have just like I don't know, your parents would just give it to you. It's like, who cares? It's 5 cents. But I've definitely, on like 3 occasions, gone to Canadian Tire with like mountains of it, like $400 worth that was like pooled from like people, and we bought like real things. So thank you for the Canadian Tire dollars.
Back to AJV.
Wild.
I know.
Or
other countries are weird, right?
That's so strange.
They have all their own lives, and
it's like a different world out there.
It's my culture.
Or question, how would you run non-Bonebreaker wagons, just custom cannon or fully loaded?
I do them pretty bare bones because they get really expensive and they're not, like, they're tough to kill, but not that tough
They're just going to miss.
And they're just going to miss.
Yeah.
I've mentioned Dabuma before. I like that one a lot, which is just
and that's
one
the
of yours.
custom job.
It's a custom job for the big cannon. So usually I go all or nothing, to be honest. Because as like pretty naked transports, and even if you're not going Bonebreaker, the def roll is still interesting.
The def roll is solid.
Because it gives them that roll.
And when it's cheap and it's just a transport, it's almost not worth killing.
Yeah.
But then if they don't kill it, it punishes them.
Totally.
And so it's a damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Yeah, and then you just have a big bully, that has a bunch of mega knobs in it or whatever.
Exactly.
So I think it's really cool.
I'm always terrified of
them. And the Fortress, of course, right?
Yeah, because that at least makes those meltas not go right through you.
Yeah, and you're literally just super tough to kill. You're like, I don't even care. I'm just going to be up on the point. If you want to kill me, I'm going to have a bunch of obs that come out. If you don't want to kill me, it's all going to come out anyways.
Yeah, the Red Rolla and the Fortress are both amazing.
Cool.
Thanks. Siege Roots. I've only just started to actually get into playing 40k tabletop. This has nothing to do with me finding this channel 2 weeks ago.
Welcome!
Yeah, welcome. It's an amazing game.
Yeah.
Thanks, Curtis. I have no questions today, so here's a merch idea. Adrian holding Taco Bell saying, spicy.
That's good. Good.
That's nice.
Bridger, you want to get some Taco Bell tonight?
I think I will.
Bridger and I are going to get some Taco Bell tonight.
Oh, we're going together. Taco Bell trip.
Have fun with that.
I actually think, like, once in a while, Taco Bell is tasty.
I'll bet they still have nacho fries.
Like, there's nothing
when
else
you're stranded?
to eat. Yeah.
Let's do it. It's been a long time.
We're definitely
The what fries?
Nacho fries?
Okay, yeah.
What
it's been a long time since Bridger and
I didn't hear what you said.
Since Bridger and I have had Taco Bell, and it's been a long time since we promoted Taco Bell. It's been at least since the last game.
That's true.
We have to get their permission to make this merch because we need their branding, and we need a deal. Honestly, like Vallejo Blue Green and Taco Bell.
That's right.
That's right.
And
they're both just as edible.
How dare you? That is an insult to Vallejo Blue Green. Much more edible than Taco Bell.
Thanks, Aaron Yeehaw from Australia, or maybe Austria. I don't know. It's just Oz.
That's
I'm gonna go with Austria.
Yes, the Yeehaws from Austria.
Austria for sure. I couldn't even I can't even conceptualize with someone saying that in an Austrian
I would love
accent.
to see it though. Right?
I literally have no idea. That'd be amazing.
It needs to be like a thick Austrian accent too.
Oh my god.
Like someone who's seen an American cowboy movie once and really wants to try and John Wayne it.
That's true. I mean,
but with an Austrian
accent.
Kind
of appropriate for the Australian too, but yeah.
I know it is, but like
specifically John Wayne
I want the Austrian.
Well, hey, what's up?
Yeehaw.
Just had my baby arrive on Tuesday.
Whoa, congrats.
He shall become a Grand Warrior. Are Wolfwing competitive? And what weapons or unit size would you give them?
Congratulations. The Wolfen took a hit in the Codex, didn't they?
Uh-huh.
They were really interesting before, and then...
Good and vulnerable saves. And they were scary.
Yeah.
So it was like, deal with them now, or they're going to punish you.
Exactly. So now they're not nearly as tough.
Yeah.
The
auras they give out aren't as impactful.
They're kind of just like a death ball, right? Because they use, I think, just the claws at this point, right?
Well, Thunderhammers went up, and they have less AP. Like, the things that made Wolfen
Well, the shield
good,
doesn't work on them anymore because they just have 4 up invulns, 4 up armor saves.
Yeah.
The things that made Wolfen good all went away.
So I would just kit them out for the damage of that.
And they can't even do actions either, which is just a little...
All right. So
they lost their fight.
The question is not, are they good? The question is, how would you kit them out?
Cheaply.
Cheaply.
Yeah, as cheaply as possible.
Yeah.
So the Wolfen Claws?
The
Wolfen Claws are not good. Like the Frost Claws are really expensive though.
Yeah, that's true.
So...
I'm just saying, the question is not, would you run them? It's how would you run them.
They can have quite a few attacks.
Yeah. I think that's the way I would do it. Because, they're not, like, you could kit them out for durability. It's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
The hammers are really expensive.
Hey, hammers are off the table.
So
hammers and shields are off the table.
It's claws.
It's pretty much claws. But the question is it Frost Claws or is it the actual... Here's the Wolfen.
I think I agree the cheap
Which
claws.
is cheaper?
Can you actually run both?
So here's the Wolfen Frost Claws. Okay. It's at least +1 strength, so strength 6. Kind of cool. -2, and you get 1 extra attack. And then the Wolfen Claws is just AP 1, nothing. But I guess that's you're getting most of the value out of the AP 1 because you're already strength 5.
You're already strength 5. So what's the points differential too?
I think the Wolfen Claws are free.
Yeah, we're going deep on Wolfen right now.
Because we've talked a lot of trash about them.
I just had a flashback of this too. I'm pretty sure.
So the Wolfen Claws are free. So it's 25 for just a Wolfen with his claws. The Frost Claws are 5.
No.
So just the plain Wolfen Claws is the answer.
So there you go.
That's the answer.
I know. I hope they get justice.
Because 30 points, that's the price of a Sandguard.
Well,
and they're not a Sandguard.
That's a different problem.
Same problem.
Also criminal. They're both criminal.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Aaron. After Lorgar's declaration of love won Bridger back, kidnap. Bridger plots to escape with the word bearers of the true word of Taco Bell.
Yeah.
What do you do?
True word.
Well,
the Book of Bridger is just all about Taco Bell. It's gonna bring the Empire. It's gonna enact the galaxy in flames as a civil war breaks out over the Book of Bridger.
It's true.
In the twisted fashion of this story, I think my greatest ally is gonna be the Night Haunter in this.
In the end, right? Because
he's gonna get me out.
Yeah.
The Night Haunter is behind your vision. He's always up late. It's the only thing he can eat, you know? He wants something that's open late and gonna haunt his dreams.
He's just like,
live Moss. Live Moss, yeah. So you're right.
I like that.
He's gonna become the new mascot.
He will. Because if I went to Jagatai with this, he'd be like,
no, you gotta hide this from Jagatai.
Good luck.
No, you could never know.
No, you gotta hide this from Jagatai. Yeah.
All right, thanks, James. Where should I send the Cursed Cities box? Oh, wait, wrong game. Or is it?
Oh, yeah.
This is not James Workshop, by the way. This is just some James.
Some James. Could be James Workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. We cannot wait for that box.
Yeah, I want to use those models to convert other things. I did that a lot with the Blackstone.
Yeah.
It's an expensive thing to do, but I had a lot of friends that had it and like didn't want one model or something like that.
Exactly.
So hoping I could do something like that, but we'll see.
I've tried to do that, and every time I'm like, I can't do it.
You just want them all.
So like, I'm in my mind, like I want to have the complete collection. So I'll be like, I use the Eldar Ranger as an Eldar Ranger, but it also still works for the original.
Yeah.
Like, I want
that Eldar Ranger is so nice.
That's how they show.
Yeah, this box is great. I'm just crossing my fingers. If the game is good, we'll definitely play it.
For sure.
If the game is kind of hard to watch and like 10 hours long, we might have to pass on the game, but we'll see. If it's a good game,
we'll just play it in private.
We'll play it in private.
We'll at least play it in private.
We'll tell you how it goes. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Ben. Happy Sigmar Day.
Yeah.
Indeed.
40K is now a Western film, but with a twist. Which Xenos character is the town sheriff, and which Imperium character is the outlaw?
Well, I know. Okay, so Xenos, you've already got a cowboy in the Xenos faction.
That's so easy. That's too easy.
It's too easy?
It's too easy.
Wait,
do harder
there's two good cowboys.
There's two Xenos cowboys, but only one of them is actually good at his job.
Yeah, one of those does not count.
So we've got the Hexmark Destroyer, which he's got his multi-six shooters. He's definitely a bank robber who always fails.
He's the deputy.
He's the deputy. He's the deputy. These guys are more like train robbers, though.
Yeah.
But okay, he's a deputy. And then we've got, from the Gene Steer cults.
Yeah, of course, the Kellermorph.
The Kellermorph.
The true hero.
He's already got the cowboy hat and the six shooters.
He's perfect.
So we're definitely giving it to him.
The model doesn't actually come with the cowboy hat. You've just seen that so many times.
No. He has a cowboy hat in my mind.
Okay.
You have to give him the cowboy hat.
He already has a cowboy hat.
He has a cowboy hat.
But then who's the outlaw?
Okay, so this is an Imperium character? Imperium character who is the outlaw. I'd say it's a gang of sisters.
Oh yeah,
that would be
Train Robin Sisters.
Train Robin Sisters.
That's cool.
They're like dressing up as nuns, but they're really just robbers.
You know what?
It's great.
I was skeptical, but you convinced me.
I brought it home.
Yeah, you did.
That's pretty good. All right, thanks, Justin. No question, but hype for the new studio and Saturday game. I asked about a guard orc battle last week, and guard nid's pretty close.
It is pretty close. You're
it's
right.
Very close, and it will be marginally faster than guard orcs.
The problem with our guard orc battles, it's like we both have armies with 1 million shots that don't kill anything.
Correct.
So it's like my turn, shot 1 million shots. You lost 2 models. Your turn, shot 1 million shots. You lost 3 models. Okay, now everyone charges and fights. No one dies, but like lots of dice are rolled.
Yep.
Your turn again. So it's like by turn 6, we're still throwing like 200 dice per phase in every phase.
It's already 10 hours later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I have a good time, but
we've had an orc guard battle go nearly as long as our APOC game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
And that was like a 25,000 point game.
Yeah.
And this is just normal 2,000 points orcs. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel Well, look at the orcs they're like in the barrel right now. You know, they're loaded up.
But this is going to be a great game. Excited to debut the Tyranids.
Well, it was so perfect because we wanted to play guard, and we haven't shown the nids publicly. So I'm excited. I'm thinking Kraken maybe.
Ooh, okay.
I'm really digging it.
Because I did a custom High Fleet. We've got High Fleet Titan. So I did a custom one for the first because I wanted to do it, but Kraken's definitely kind of a go-to.
Especially for the toys that we have right now.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun to play.
I agree.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joseph. Hey, Titans. Have a question about tournaments and WYSIWYG.
Sure.
If I gave sergeants plasma pistol because they look cool, do I have to snap them off for events?
Technically, yes.
But really, no.
Really, no.
I'll tell you when it's only a problem.
Yeah.
Let's say you had 4 units and they all had plasma pistols modeled. but one of them actually you paid for the plasma pistol, now it's a problem.
That is a problem. Exactly. 100% agree.
But if none of them had plasma pistols, not a problem.
No.
Yeah.
I agree. That's my stance on it.
That's my stance also.
Have I done it before? Absolutely. Has it ever been a problem? No. Have
Talk to
people
your
noticed it and have no problem? No problem. It's all
yeah,
good.
I've had someone be like, is that a plasma pistol? And I'm like, no. And then they're like, cool.
Yeah. We're like, no, I've done it in the army. They're like, cool. Like,
but if you mixing matching and some people have it, some people don't, now it's an issue.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks, Sean. Hey, guys. What units do you recommend for competitive Alpha Legion? Thinking of running pure and or souping them with Chaos Demons?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. First of all, not the most competitive army.
No.
So you're going to have to really take the bleeding edge of units and push them to get what you need out of it, right?
Yeah, very, very true. Very true. I genuinely think Obliterators are good with Alpha Legion.
Right.
You know, competitively, they get poo-pooed on just because of the faction largely, but you can make them untargetable, hit super hard.
This is the thing. Anytime you can get 2 full turns out of them, which can be 4 shooting phases,
Totally.
It's good, and making them untargetable is a way to do it.
Yep.
The unit can dish out real pain.
Absolutely.
But you do have to support it, right?
Yep.
You need the caster that does cursed earth and things like that. Mutated invigoration. So you need the you need that caster to do that, and then you do need to prep how to keep them unshootable, right?
Absolutely. So you're gonna need like your regular sources as well for warp time, which also helps for cultists. Which actually this is a faction you do want to still take cultists over like small 5-mans.
That's true.
Because you can do the thing like deny deep strike, which is super important.
That warp time is good. You can also get prescience on them. So you can shoot twice with prescience. You can have your rerolls on them.
The other cool thing with the Oblitz is you get that ranged firepower that you can then trigger an explosion on a 4+ for your opponent as opposed to just the 6. So that's really tasty. And yeah, if you want to bring in demons, the Nurglings are still just going to be great for getting that up board coverage with something that's super durable.
Yeah, they're more expensive now, so you can't spam them quite as aggressively, but they'll still fill a hole in your army.
Yeah, especially as a support for this bigger army.
Yeah, Terminators are still great.
Yeah.
So you would definitely tech into them.
Yeah, for sure. They're really great for chaos. I think they're like the shining beacon in that codex, to be honest.
Agreed.
I would entirely build around that.
Yeah. So I think the things we named, that would be the starting point of a list we'd be building to be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Alrighty, thanks, Sven. AdMech have a rule for Data Horde that 5 and 6 score an extra hit with arc weapons. Does that mean in Overwatch 5 scores 1 hit and 6 scores 2? Does it say extra or additional? Because if it says additional, there needed to be 1 in the first place.
Yeah, you also have to make sure it does work in Overwatch. This is an engine war. I've never used this because I don't have many arc weapons.
Yeah.
So I've never actually teched into it. But it's a very, very powerful thing to tech into when you do. I
haven't played arc weapons since 7th edition when they were like real haywire, basically.
Yeah, it's tough. So many new data
Sorry,
sheets.
I'm going to pull it up in a second. But yeah, Bridger brings up a really good point about the wording of it.
But we'll have to see.
Okay, here's which warlord trait is this? This is Analyst of the Logos. Attack with made range weapon.
Data Horde? It's called Data Horde.
Data Horde.
Predicted movement. Oh, okay. Data Horde.
There's like 12 warlord traits.
There's way more than that. Data Horde. Oh man, it's not. None of them are called Data Horde.
Lies.
I don't know. That's my easy answer.
Yeah, without being able to see it in front of us, like Bridger said, check the wording of it. Make sure it's not additional. Make sure it actually works in Overwatch as well. But you need a BS if you're not hitting. It's probably not triggering.
Yeah, I
it's
would
a strat.
Imagine it doesn't work.
Yeah,
in Overwatch.
Probably.
That's my guess.
Yeah, it's really tricky to.
It's a custom Forge World, not a warlord trait. It's called Data Horde.
Custom Forge.
There you go. Getting there.
We're gonna get there.
It's weird stuff
like
this.
Is so, I'm reading. I just read this whole book now. Data Horde Forge World.
Aha.
Okay. All right.
You like this?
You're not actually looking at it. You really made it sound like
Data Horde Forge World.
That's all the flavor text?
That's all flavor text. It's a lot to go over. And then attack with a Cognis range weapon, blah, blah, blah. No. Here it is. It's called Transnode Power Cores.
Okay.
And when resolve an attack made with an arc weapon by a model with this dogma, an unmodified hit roll 5 or 6 scores 1 additional hit.
Ooh, boom. Additional requires there to have been 1 in the first place.
Good call. Okay. And it's tough to know what to look for, right, to answer those questions. But that's
so only the 6, scores double.
6 will give you 2.
There are warlord traits to let you Overwatch on 5s. So there you go.
Then you would, yep.
And since this is apparently not a warlord trait, you can do that.
There is a separate warlord trait in this book to let you Overwatch on 5s.
And Cognis weapons, obviously.
Alrighty, thanks, Kieran. Hey guys, do you think guard orders will change in 9th? Also, would only getting savior protocols from included drones balance them more?
That would be amazing.
From included, these are like the drones that you take with your unit.
Yeah.
This is what I've been advocating for a long time.
Yeah. And
right?
That's kind of how it used to work before.
That is exactly how it used to work.
Yeah, exactly. Before whatever. Anyway.
The idea that you have these mountain of drones that just go anywhere, it's obnoxious.
It's so obnoxious. It's just like it's an oversight.
Totally.
So that'd be cool. And then
guard orders. Will they change? I think they will change.
I think they 100% will change.
Because almost nobody has ever used all of the orders.
Plus, the prevalence of double move across a whole army, it's not very 9th edition.
That's true.
It's not.
A lot of double move.
That's pretty bananas.
Yeah.
Like if the rest of the army wasn't already struggling, that would be an impressive ability in this edition.
Bet there's an order that nobody in the world has ever used.
Ever.
Because there's a lot of vehicle orders. There's a lot of tank orders, and people don't do anything except reroll ones.
People do the strike and shroud as well.
Yes.
That doesn't prove that they.
But there are
bad ones.
there are like 10 tank orders.
That's true.
One of them actually says you do it and you take a mortal wound. That's all it does.
That's right.
It's really weird. I don't know why they wrote that.
People have done that one.
Yeah. But they're gonna change.
I think they should change. A lot of things are gonna change. Yeah.
All right, last one of the night. Thanks, Sergeant Sarcasm.
Hey.
What is your favorite looking Tyranid monster, and why is it the Toxicrene?
Toxicrene is actually kind of cool.
I remember when that first came out.
What is your favorite?
It is for sure the scythed Hierodual. I just think it's the coolest thing. Like the combination of the shooting and the killing and the big monster. It's just so iconic, and that was like one of Jeff's favorites. So I was like, oh my god, it's so cool.
Yeah. So legitimately, the scythed Hierodual
oh, really?
is my favorite model, and I now own them, and it's the only reason I bought the army.
Yeah.
Was for the scythed Hierodual.
Wow.
Yeah.
For me, it's got to be Winged Hive Tyrant with all the guns. It looks so cool.
It's really, really cool looking.
Just picture that
the
flying
Forge
across
World Hive Tyrant is really nice. I love the Forge World Hive Tyrant. I like that one too.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of the Forge World ones, except for the Dimacaron or whatever. They're all pretty rad.
Except just the Dimacaron.
I'm gonna get one just because you hate it so much.
Terrible.
I'm gonna get 2.
It'll be excellent
because you need 2 apparently.
It'll be good on the board. Maybe can we let's make our own.
Make our own model
out of paper mache.
That's true.
I think we can make our own.
Yeah.
It just needs to have like a big mouth in its stomach.
Yeah.
And be balanced, and I'll be into it.
Can it still have high heels though?
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Agreed. All right, so we did it. That was the last one.
On that note, thank you guys so much for joining us in this awesome Q&A. It's always fun to be able to spend a bit more time with you guys, hanging out, talking. And as we mentioned, Saturday is going to be really exciting. We've got the NIDS, the public debut of them. We have the Guard returning. We have the studio that we're working on, which, again, if you're members, you'll see updates to.
Yeah.
And we will, of course, publicly let you guys know when we're going to start filming in there.
Yeah.
A lot of work to do, but we're really excited. And so hopefully we'll see you Saturday on the tabletop.